This day 51 years ago, an uprising took place at the Stonewall Inn in New York City. As it was raided by the police in the early hours, 3 nights of unrest followed, with LGBT people, long frustrated by police brutality, finally fighting back. The uprising at Stonewall paved the way for LGBTQ movements across the globe, as members of the community took to the streets in celebration of their identity. On this anniversary of the Stonewall Riots, we take a look at some pivotal moments of LGBTQIA+ history in India. Ismat Chughta's short story Lihaf in 1942 about homosexuality, released at a time when these stories were not spoken of even in hushed tones. Chughtai faced severe backlash for the story, with many decreeing it as obscene. However, this story about lesbian relationships and the sexual desires of women is seen as liberating and far ahead of its times. The 1996 Hindi film Fire, directed by Deepa Mehta and starring Shabana Azmi and Nandita Das, is loosely based on the short story. More recently, the film Der Ishq Kiya, directed by Abhishek Chaubey, was also made on similar lines. In 1977, Shakuntala Devi wrote the first study of homosexuality in India. Late playwright Vijay Tendulkar's 1981 Marathi play Mitrachi Gosht centered around a lesbian relationship and brought alternate sexuality to the fore. In 1990, veteran journalist Ashok Kavi Rao wanted to build a support network to address issues like HIV/AIDS, discrimination, and more. He started a newsletter that would go on to become Bombay Dost, which is still today India's leading gay magazine. In 1999, Kolkata hosted India's first gay pride parade. The parade, with only 15 attendees, was named Calcutta Rainbow Pride. This is also hailed as the oldest pride parade in South Asia. The fight against the obsolete colonial-era law that criminalized sexual acts against the order of nature began way back in 2001. In 2009, the Delhi High Court struck down Section 377, but in a severe blow to the community, the Supreme Court overturned the Delhi verdict in 2013, effectively recriminalizing homosexuality. This led to intense protests being sparked in many parts of the country and a renewed vigor for pride parades. After 5 long years, on 6 September 2018, the Supreme Court ruled that the application of Section 377 to consensual homosexual sex between adults was unconstitutional, irrational, indefensible, and manifestly arbitrary. While some may say that India has made strides in recognizing the rights of LGBTQIA+ community, many argue that we still have a long way to go. In 2019, the Indian Parliament passed the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act that met with intense backlash from the community. Some of the contentions against the bill are as follows. The bill doesn't allow for self-identification of a transgender person, taking away their autonomy. No one from the community was asked about their needs and requirements. The bill was drafted on the basis of stereotypes. It requires a transgender person to obtain a certificate stating that they are transgender. The bill conflates transgender people with intersex people. Not every intersex person identifies as transgender, and not every transgender person is intersex. The minimum sentence for sexual violence against a woman is 7 years of jail term, which can extend to a life sentence. However, when it comes to a transgender person, the minimum sentence is 6 months and can extend to a maximum of just 2 years. Homosexual marriages and adoption rights are still not recognized in India. This anniversary of the Stonewall Riots, while we celebrate small steps, it's also a good time to remind ourselves that the struggle is long and must continue unabated.